Greetings, devoted fans of Days of Our Lives. Welcome back to TV Days Drama Digest, your go-to source for the juiciest speculation, heart-pounding theories, and in-depth analysis of the soap opera that keeps us all on the edge of our seats. Today, we're diving headfirst into the swirling storm of emotions surrounding the imminent departure of young Thomas DiMera, portrayed by the talented Carrie Christopher from the hallowed halls of Salem. With Christopher's exit from the show confirmed, the burning question on every fan's mind is, how will Thomas's story conclude? Will his fate intertwine with his sister Rachel's dark secret? Could a tragic accident or a sinister act orchestrated by Rachel herself mark the end of Thomas's journey? Buckle up, because we're about to unravel the possibilities in a tale dripping with betrayal, heartbreak, and classic Days drama. This exploration will take us deep into the psyche of Salem's youngest residents, the DiMera family dynamics, and the shocking twists that could redefine their legacy. At the heart of this narrative lies the complex and tender relationship between Thomas DiMera and his older sister, Rachel Black. These two young souls, bound by blood and the weight of their family's tumultuous history, have always shared a connection that feels both heartwarming and precarious. Thomas, with his wide-eyed innocence and unwavering loyalty, looks up to Rachel, who carries the burden of her own secrets and the DiMera penchant for chaos. Their sibling dynamic has been a beacon of light in the often dark world of Salem, but recent events have cast a shadow over their once unshakable bond. The bombshell that rocked their world came when Rachel revealed to Thomas that Kat, the woman he believed to be his mother, Abigail, was an imposter. This revelation was a dagger to Thomas's heart, shattering his trust in the world around him. For a young boy already grappling with the loss of his mother, learning that Kat had been manipulating his family was a betrayal of unimaginable proportions. The fallout was immediate and devastating. Thomas, unable to reconcile his father Chad's relationship with Kat, turned his anger and pain toward his father. The once close father-son duo found themselves at odds, with Thomas's refusal to accept Kat driving a wedge between them. Chad, torn between his love for his son and his complicated feelings for Kat, struggles to bridge the gap, leaving Thomas feeling isolated and betrayed. This fracture in the DiMera family sets the stage for a potential tragedy. As Thomas grapples with his emotions, Rachel stands at the center of the storm, holding a secret that could push their relationship and Thomas's life to the brink. The question looms, will Rachel's hidden truth about shooting DiMera, a pivotal figure in their family, become the catalyst for Thomas's dramatic exit from Salem? Rachel Black is no stranger to the weight of secrets. As the daughter of Kristen DiMera and Brady Black, she carries the legacy of two of Salem's most volatile figures. Her revelation about Kat was a moment of bravery, but it also exposed her capacity to wield information as a weapon. Now, whispers in Salem suggest that Rachel harbors an even darker secret. She was the one who shot DiMera, her uncle and a cornerstone of the DiMera empire. This act, whether intentional or accidental, has the potential to unravel the entire family, and Thomas may find himself caught in the crossfire. Imagine the scene. Rachel, haunted by the memory of pulling the trigger, confides in Thomas, seeking solace in their sibling bond. But Thomas, already reeling from the Kat revelation, is overwhelmed by this new truth. EJ, a man who has been both a protector and a polarizing figure in Thomas's life, lies wounded or worse because of Rachel's actions. The weight of this knowledge could fracture Thomas's trust in his sister, pushing him to confront her or, worse, to expose her secret to the wrong people. In Salem, secrets have a way of spiraling out of control, and Rachel, desperate to protect herself, might take drastic measures to ensure Thomas's silence. Could Rachel, driven by fear and the DiMera instinct for self-preservation, harm her own brother? The thought is chilling, but not unimaginable. Rachel's history suggests a volatile streak, inherited from her mother, Kristen, whose schemes have left a trail of destruction in Salem. If Rachel believes Thomas is on the verge of revealing her role in EJ's shooting, she might orchestrate an accident to keep him quiet. Picture a dramatic scene on the cliffs overlooking Salem's coastline. Thomas, distraught and confronting Rachel, stands too close to the edge. A heated argument, a moment of panic, and a single push could send Thomas plummeting to a tragic fate. Or perhaps Rachel, in a fit of desperation, manipulates events to stage a car accident, a fire, or another calamity that claims Thomas's life. The possibilities are as heart-wrenching as they are plausible in the high-stakes world of Days of Our Lives. As we speculate on Thomas's exit, the idea of a serious accident looms large. Days of Our Lives has never shied away from dramatic plot twists, and a catastrophic event could serve as the perfect vehicle to write Thomas out of the show. Let's explore some of the most gripping scenarios. 1. The car crash catastrophe. Imagine Thomas, consumed by his anger toward Chad and his turmoil over Rachel's secret, running away from the DiMera mansion in a fit of emotion. He takes one of the family's sleek cars, despite being too young to drive, and speeds through the streets of Salem. Rachel, desperate to stop him from revealing her secret, follows in pursuit. In a heart-stopping moment, their vehicles collide on a rain-slicked road, and Thomas's car careens into a ravine. The wreckage is discovered hours later, leaving Chad and the DiMera family to grapple with the loss of their youngest heir. This scenario would not only provide a dramatic exit for Thomas, but also set the stage for Rachel's guilt to consume her, driving her into a new arc of redemption or further descent into darkness. 2. A fall from grace. The DiMera mansion, with its grand staircases and Gothic architecture, has always been a character in its own right. What if Thomas, during a heated confrontation with Rachel, stumbles upon evidence of her involvement in EJ's shooting? As he threatens to tell Chad or the authorities, Rachel lashes out, and a struggle ensues at the top of the mansion's iconic staircase. A single misstep sends Thomas tumbling, his small body crumpling at the bottom. The family rushes to his side, but it's too late. Thomas's injuries are fatal. This scenario would cement Rachel's role as a tragic figure, torn between love for her brother and the need to protect herself, while leaving Chad to grapple with the unbearable loss of his son. 3. A fire of secrets. Fire has always been a dramatic staple in soap operas, and a blaze at the DiMera mansion could provide the perfect backdrop for Thomas's exit. Perhaps Rachel, in a misguided attempt to destroy evidence of her crime, accidentally sets a fire that engulfs the family home. Thomas, trapped inside, becomes a casualty of the inferno. The imagery of flames licking at the DiMera legacy, with Chad racing through the smoke to save his son, only to find him lifeless, would be a gut punch to viewers. This tragic end would leave Rachel to carry the weight of her actions, potentially driving her to confess or flee Salem in shame. Each of these scenarios is steeped in the melodrama that Days of Our Lives does best, but they also raise the question: would the writers dare to kill off a character as young and beloved as Thomas? The alternative, serious injury rather than death, could keep Thomas alive, but remove him from Salem, perhaps sending him to a specialized medical facility far from the chaos of his family. A coma, a long recovery, or even amnesia could provide a way to write Thomas out while leaving the door open for a future return. However, given the emotional weight of Carrie Christopher's departure, a permanent and tragic end feels more likely, delivering the kind of gut-wrenching closure that keeps fans talking for years. Thomas's departure, whether through death or injury, will send shockwaves through Salem, reshaping the DiMera family and beyond. Chad, already a man haunted by loss, would be pushed to his breaking point. The death of his son could transform him into a darker, more vengeful version of himself, seeking answers about Rachel's role in the tragedy. His relationship with Kat, already strained, would likely crumble under the weight of guilt and grief, as Chad blames her for the rift with Thomas that set this chain of events in motion. Rachel, meanwhile, would face a reckoning. If her actions directly or indirectly lead to Thomas's demise, she would be forced to confront the consequences of her choices. Would she confess to shooting EJ and harming Thomas, seeking redemption? Or would she double down, embracing the DiMera legacy of manipulation and secrecy? Kristen DiMera, Rachel's mother, would undoubtedly play a pivotal role, either protecting her daughter or exploiting the situation to further her own schemes. The dynamic between Rachel and Kristen could become a central focus, exploring the question of whether Rachel is destined to follow in her mother's footsteps or forge a different path. Beyond the DiMera family, Thomas's exit would reverberate through Salem's tight-knit community. EJ, if he survives his shooting, would grapple with the knowledge that his niece's actions led to his nephew's tragedy. Brady Black, Rachel's father, would be torn between supporting his daughter and mourning the loss of his young friend Thomas. The ripple effects could even touch characters like Belle, Sammy, or Lucas, who have their own ties to the DiMera legacy, pulling them back into the fold for a dramatic showdown. Carrie Christopher's portrayal of Thomas DiMera has been a highlight of Days of Our Lives, bringing a youthful energy and emotional depth to the show. His chemistry with Rachel's actress, Finley Rose Slater, has made their sibling dynamic one of the most compelling aspects of the DiMera storyline. Fans have watched Thomas grow from a precocious toddler into a young boy navigating the complexities of his family's legacy, and Christopher's ability to convey Thomas's vulnerability and strength has endeared him to viewers. His departure is a loss not only for the show but for the fans who have invested in Thomas's journey. The writers of Days of Our Lives face a daunting task, crafting an exit that honors Thomas's character while delivering the high-stakes drama the show is known for. A tragic accident caused by Rachel's desperation to protect her secret feels like the most fitting end, given the buildup of their conflict and the DiMera family's penchant for betrayal. However, the possibility of a redemptive arc, perhaps Thomas forgiving Rachel in his final moments, could provide a bittersweet closure that resonates with fans. As we await the resolution of Thomas's storyline, the TV Days Drama Digest community is buzzing with theories. Some fans believe Rachel's secret will remain hidden, with Thomas's exit tied to a random accident unrelated to her actions. Others speculate that Chad's enemies, sensing weakness in the DiMera family, could target Thomas as a way to hurt his father. A particularly wild theory suggests that Thomas might not die but be kidnapped, spirited away from Salem to set up a future return. Whatever the outcome, one thing is certain: Thomas's departure will leave a void in Salem that will be felt for years to come. So, dear readers, what do you think? Will Thomas meet a tragic end at the hands of his own sister? Could a devastating accident claim his life? Or will he survive, only to leave Salem forever? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going as we brace for the emotional roller coaster ahead. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.